We think about it, everyone has something at risk on this. First of all, if you are a parent of sons, do think about what this means for the life of your son and what that will mean in terms of the choices he will have.
Missouri Senator Josh Hawley and his wife Erin join us now. Good morning to both of you. Well, both of you are smart people. You can't become a clerk for a justice unless you're top of your class. And I know both of you clerked for Justice Roberts. Did y'all meet when you were both clerking for Justice Roberts?
Yeah, we did. And we started dating that year, Ainsley. And we kept it a secret, actually. I mean, that was, we were pretty good at that. We kept it on the down and low. And then we got married after our clerkship.
Okay, yeah, y'all were good at keeping secrets. Whoever leaked this is not, and I hope they find that leaker.
This Homeland Security warning that's in the bulletin that CBS obtained, it specifically mentioned an incident in Michigan related to a pro-abortion rights group. How concerned are you about?
I am concerned about a lot of things happening in the United States right now. And frankly, the last couple of decisions that came out of this United States Supreme Court make America a lot more dangerous. It is scary. And as a lawyer, it crushes me to say that even I am losing faith that these important institutions that are supposed to be above the politics of the day are now being corrupted. And that's what we're seeing out of our United States Supreme Court. And I am very concerned about our long-term prosperity, our homeland security, and our safety.
Protested outside of your house. And Erin, what happened? You were home alone with your baby, right?
Absolutely. Josh and the boys were home in Missouri, and so Abigail, she was just a few weeks old, and I were home alone. The protesters came at night with bullhorns, were shouting, banging. At least 3 men came up on our porch and were shouting for Josh to come out, even though I'd already asked them to leave. Appropriate places to protest, but someone's home at night is not that.
Yeah, I'm sure you were scared.
The Biden administration has really turned an eye towards this left wing and really encouraged it by saying things like, oh, it's fine to protest at the justices' homes, even though it is in fact illegal. The second thing is it really shows that the radical left has become very anti-democratic. What they don't want is they don't want the people to have any say.
Erin, you wrote a beautiful op-ed for Fox News. You served as counsel to Mississippi in the Dobbs case, and you had to take your little daughter, Abigail, when she was 6 months old, with you to go and discuss this case. Tell us about that story and why you say her crying in the middle of one of the meetings was a loud reminder of how important this issue is.
So absolutely. We had flown down to Mississippi, flown all day, navigated a connecting flight, and Abigail was exhausted. We didn't have time to check in, so we're running to the meeting room, and thankfully she fell asleep on the way. But not too long after we'd sat down to sort of dive into these complex legal discussions on strategy and how best to approach the case, she wakes up screaming. And it's sort of awkward and as uncomfortable as it was trying to comfort a baby while also contributing to discussions. She was just a real tangible reminder of why the Dobbs case matters. She was this curly-headed, loud, chubby-cheeked infant who was absolutely precious and absolutely unique. But the thing is, Ainsley, she's not...
Look, the problem is the economy overheated.
It overheated in part because the government didn't just inject money into the economy at the start of the pandemic, but again last year.
There'll be $1,400 checks.
Approving a record $1.9 trillion stimulus while interest rates stayed at historic lows.
In retrospect, the government should not have put so much money into the economy.
Look, I think, David, that a recession is almost inevitable. Probably a 75%, 80% chance within the next 2 years, and there's certainly a real risk that it will come sooner. That's going to be a very difficult thing, though, as I say, I think it may be inevitable given where we are.
Well, you better hope that they don't come for you, Clarence, and say you should not be married to your wife, who happens to be white, because they will move that. And you better hope that nobody says, well, you're not in the Constitution, you're back to being a quarter of a person. Because that's not going to work either.